this was really an interesting session. I actually am thinking if it was live, how it would be, and looking forward to having more such sessions and live sessions. So the inputs which has been given, the examples which were shared was very, very strong and relevant. So I now open the forum to my participants to let us know how did they enjoy, what are the key takeaways they have from this session.
A fantastic session. I am a music lover, so I got connected with a lot of management principles, practices, and methodologies along with your session. The good part is there were certain industrial case studies were there. Some philosophical views were there related to vision, mission, commitment, passion. There were certain examples from mythology, from music world, and from Bollywood also. So it was completely a 360-degree session. Financial fundamentals were also there, debt, cash in hand, cash flow, right? So that made a lot of inciting in the session. So what is my takeaway is the first was the tyranny of or the genius of and. So I remember one advertisement by Maggie, healthy bhi or tasty bhi, right? Because sometimes the food has been marketed, either the food is healthy. So many people who love taste, they ignore the food. Or sometimes if the food item has been marketed as it's very tasty, then the health conscious people will avoid it. So how they are positioning it with the power of and, healthy bhi and tasty bhi. So this is one thing which I'm taking away with me. The second one is change is opportunity led or crisis driven. So it is said rightly, change before change changes you, right? So either it's a opportunity cost or it's a regret value. One of the two things can happen. And one example which you quoted while delivering your session, Arnav, is the biggest takeaway of mine is the psychological safety, right? As you shared that the youngest person of your musician team is giving you some critical feedback, and he's not having any fear that in the next program whether I will be taken or I will be not taken. So people don't live in a artificial harmony over there, right? I'm using the word artificial harmony. So if culture promotes this kind of dialoguing in the organization, definitely then it is not yours and it is not mine. It is management by objectives. It is not management by personalities.
Very well said, yeah.
Amazing. It's a fantastic session I have attended. Thanks, Anisha, for organizing it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Anisha. Actually, I like this session a lot. Very different. This is the first time I have attended training session with singing, and those collaboration and other things which we have learned today. I will remember it with respect to the pictures or the songs like Bhajan or AB, or what we recently saw is that bars. It was very good. Like instead of having that multiple things on a PPT and those long PPT, we keep reading it. Instead, this was amazing. Thank you. And your voice is really nice, Arnav.
Thank you so much.
Just have one question. Since you mentioned about different perspectives, for any situation when we have different perspective, everybody will feel that I am excellent and my idea is good. But with lesser time, what we just saw about that space ship, how to finalize that, which is the best perspective, will be a challenge.
Let me take that question.
Okay.
Again, I will give the metaphor from music. See, in music, when I'm performing, I have 6 musicians. There are analog instruments and there are electronic instruments. So you have in percussion instruments, you have the drums, which is the octopad, etc., and you have the tabla. Do you think that tabla can ever compete with the drums?
No.
Not possible. You have the harmonium and you have the keyboard. keyboard will always score over the harmonium just because it's electronic. But what is important is a perspective. Every musician's perspective is not to show off himself. Every musician's perspective is to make the song better. So every paragraph in the song, right, will have a particular music composition. That music they will play. So to answer your question, there are 10 members in a team. Each member give a perspective. It is not about your perspective versus my perspective. It is about which perspective make the project successful. And that is what is required in any cross-functional team. And that is what you get in music. When you are singing a ghazal, the harmonium takes the precedence, right? When you are singing any kind of Bollywood numbers, the synthesizer steps in. It is not ki kisko wawa mil raha hai.
Oh.
Important is what is required. So that is how we have to treat. It is not like you versus me or my function versus your function. Each one of us are passionate about it. When a cross-functional team happens, the underwriter is passionate about underwriting. The sales guy is saying ki ultimately we have to see that by negating the risk, how much sales I need, because that is what the company needs. अगर sales नहीं होगा, बाकी का कोई मतलब नहीं है. लेकिन sales के लिए company बेच तो नहीं सकता है. So therefore underwriter comes in, therefore the actuary comes in. So everybody is important, right? Sales guy will say ki boss, I need the policy issued tomorrow. Possible nahi ho sakta, because maybe the operations team can't give it that. So therefore everybody will have to say that what best I can do to contribute so that the ultimate aim is achieved. That is what collaboration is. That is what we need to understand as individuals.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Subhashish has written, I learnt a new skill of conducting training program with music as a metaphor. Yes, indeed.
One gentleman decided to think out of the box, and he had a creative idea which he suddenly commercialized. So he used commercial techniques, he used storytelling. All the stories we knew. There's not a single story which he has talked about which we didn't know. But he packaged it into a completely different format. And he completely disrupted this bhajan market. It was Sri Anup Jalota, who was known as the Bhajan Shamrat. Let me give you some glimpses of what all he did. Hai aap wo jo shaam ka darshan kiya kare, storytelling. Thank you so much. Storytelling is another concept. Let me talk in English because there are people who don't understand Hindi. So, Kanhaiya is Krishna. He's the incarnation of Vishnu. So Kanhaiya used to visit these hutmans of gopiyas, and they used to steal butter, makhan. And Gopiya used to complain to Krishna's mother that, dekho, Kanhaiya is coming, he's stealing makhan. And Yashoda used to ask Krishna, that Krishna, have you stolen makhan? And Krishna, like a very innocent child, used to say, nay, ma, I have not stolen, they're all telling lies. And things So here, see the innovation. We all know that ragas, Indian ragas have different timing. So here we are talking about early morning and we are talking about evening. So early morning is presented in Rag Bhairav, which is an early morning rag. And the evening is presented in a rag, Human Kalyan, which is a evening rag. So Kanaya says, Bhor bhayo Bhor bhayo Time changed. Words also changed. So Human Kalyan. चार प्रहर वर्ष बच हट क्यों साँझ बने कर आयु निमैया मोरी मैं कब मांगन आयु।
So this is where you make this shift using existing knowledge, right? And then trying to see what you can do with that knowledge. Coming back to business, we see the same thing, this time with Apple. iPod was launched and Steve Jobs showed us a new way of listening to music. And iPod sales soared. It became the cash cow of Apple. And when it was doing well, he launched iPhone. In fact, during the launching of iPhone, he said that these are 3 instruments in one. So you have an iPod, you have a cell phone, and you have an internet. Everything put together is iPhone. So he cannibalized the cash cow of Apple by launching iPhone. Same thing he did with iPad. Macintosh sales were going high when he launched iPad. Why? Because Steve Jobs believed that if you don't cannibalize yourself, someone else will. So his mantra was, don't protect your products, protect your customer experience and your customer relationships. So this is, where embracing change is so important, where you actually disrupt sometimes yourself, cannibalize sometimes your existing product.